Hey guys, I got another build video for you here today, and what we're going to be building is the bus box. I've got everything laid out that I need for the build here, and I promise you it's not going to be nearly as painful as like the rhombus box. This one's this one's smaller, a little bit simpler, but it is a little tricky, so I would like to go over some stuff. First and foremost, I've actually already prepped my hinge and the top of the box or the bus. To prep your hinge, I suggest getting it damp, the front and back, and gently work and flex the hinge until you're able to secure just the base, like just the tabs, into the two end pieces. And as the water dries, the hinge will help, that'll help the hinge remember its shape. And when it comes time to put this together, it should be easier. We're gonna find out that together actually, because I didn't prepare the last one that I did. Hopefully this will be a bit better. But starting out, so I've laid out basically everything in how we're gonna be putting it together. And we're gonna build everything onto our wheelbase axle platform. I've got the right side here as the front of the bus, and this is the back of the bus. The back of the bus has two set slots over here. So let's get started. First thing we're gonna want to do is get these little guys. Now, these have dual slots or dual tabs for the back of the bus. So front, back, and these go right in the middle, and these create our interior wheel well walls. So we're going to slot both of those like such, and that's pretty simple. Cinnamon, please don't start barking up a storm. Oh my god. Well, it's going to be that. Alright, sorry about that. Dog, people, driveway. Y'all probably get it. But so here we go. I've got the two wheel well pieces slotted right down the center. And then the next thing we're going to do is grab our front to back of bus divider. And it goes in these slots right there. And it just kind of hangs out for a minute. Now we have the top of the wheel wells. These a little bit longer pieces. Short tab faces the front of the bus. Large tab to the back of the bus. And these go into the divider. So we're just gonna slot and let it rest on the wheel well parts, like such. Slot and slot. Come on, Nick. I believe in you. There you go. So now we've got these pieces set up like such. Let's secure them with the outer like wheel well walls, which will have your details on them. Cinnamon, shush now, girl. Come on. These go. This side has the door. And this one has no door. So that's the driver's side. And this is the passenger side. We just slot these onto the sides. Like such. There's one. And then we'll go ahead and put the other side on. Also, like such. And now we've got basically the base or bottom part of our bus box put together. Cinnamon, come on now. No barking, please. All right. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and get our acrylic, like our long acrylic side pieces slotted, and I'm gonna be right back. It's just gonna be a multi-part apart, piece it together video. My dog is just like yelling at this dude that just lives next door. She just does it. Peeling the acrylic off. I wanted to leave it on for presentation, but my slots are pretty unforgiving, so we're gonna pull the acrylic paper off. And this piece, well, now I'm a dummy. Well, one piece has like a little longer piece that goes down, and that's gonna go to the door. And we're just going to slot these down. No, I'm a dummy. I'm a dummy. My mistake, guys. My mistake. These come first. These come first. All right. So we've got these really thin wiggle bars, and these are our seam covers that cover the seam between the bottom and the top half. Let's get these on first. They're not unilateral. The back side has a larger notch than the front. So we're gonna put these into these little side slots that we have on the top. They just kind of rest, and they're gonna stick on top. Just like this. And then we're gonna put the acrylic down into the top, into the slots here, and it should grab these and hold them in place. So let's do this front side first with the door. Yep. There we go. And you heard it kind of clicked into place. Almost. There it goes. Click, snap. Same for the other side. We got the other one, and we're going to just pop it into place. And the driver's side acrylic piece, here it is with the paper on, so we can see the driver's side does not have the extended piece that comes down for the door cover. So same thing, there's some slots on those wheel wells, so let's pull this paper off and go ahead and slot this in there. And sure enough, it's going to grab the side rails, hold them in place, and they should snugly rest inside the divider so they won't tip inward. All right, perfect. So now we got to do parts involving the hinge. So we've got the hinge, and we've got this is back panel and the front panel. So I'm gonna undo my panels here gently. Take this one off gently. There we go. Ta-da. And sure enough, so the hinge really wants to hold the bus shape now, way better than it did, so it shouldn't want to fight us and go places. So what we're gonna do is we got the two slots right here, those go onto our divider, and we're gonna slide it right down between the acrylic and these sidebars. And the sidebars should help keep it in place. So we're gonna drop her in right now. Start with one side. Make sure you line the doors up and everything. Actually, I mean, it really only goes together one way. It's kind of hard to put it together wrong, but it might want to try to run away on you a little bit. Preparing the hinge definitely helped in that regard. Now if I could just get it to stay. There we go. A little bit of wiggling, making sure all those actually go into the little spaces they're supposed to. Nice. Beautiful. All right. Now, we're gonna have to get these little bad boys in there. And these little ones are kind of like the same as the long bars, but they go on the opposite side of the door in that one tiny little slot. Right here. And then on the other side, right there. And the squared parts face in and the rounded bits kind of go out. And you're just gonna want to gently and carefully, without taking everything apart, just kind of lift that up, pop them in there, and they should stay for all eternity. Now, I'm not gluing anything as I go. The build holds together without it. And I suggest building it kind of like this the first time so you see how it goes together. And then I'm going to be adding glue on this guy when I'm all said and done. There it goes. All right, good. All right, with those in place, if they stay in place there, what we're going to do next is keep anything from going anywhere by putting these back on. And I'm going to start with the front. The front has just the two big windows, and on the outside a couple arrow indicators. Now these are going to hold everything in place, so just pop them over the tabs. You should be able to easily get it onto the tabs first because they protrude farther than the hinged portions. And I say easily, but here's where it's gonna want to shift and move on you. You know what? Here's where this is gonna become handy. All right, I've got hair ties, large hair ties handy. Rubber bands could also serve this purpose. But to keep everything from really moving on me, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of add a hair tie there. That should help. That should keep that end from sliding around while we put this part on. Alright. Come on, Nick. Come on, hinge. There it goes. So, slot the tabs first and foremost, and then we're going to worry about getting the hinge into these other grooves and slots. There we go. Alright. And now, we just gently push them in there. I'm sorry, my angle is terrible. I can't really see what I'm doing. I'm gonna be in y'all's way. Let's see here. I'm a dummy. Before we do that, we gotta put the front window in place. Man, this is so we're just gonna pop this back off. Oh, Dick. Why do you do it like this? Why do you forget things? Alright. Your front and back window pieces. Your front window is bigger. Your back window, smaller. So, here it comes. Let's pull the acrylic off, or the paper off the acrylic. All right. Putting your windows in, there's a couple slots on the bottom and the top on each side. And we're just gonna put these in to those slots, just like this. Then we put these on. Now our window won't go anywhere, so let's gently line everything back up. Push those in there. There we go. No. Come on. There's the bottom. And there's that side. There's that side. Fantastic. Let's just go ahead. I'm just going to secure the back one too. So I've got the back window acrylic. Taking the paper off. There we go. Same thing with the back. Little slots there. And at the bottom. There we go. That rubber band wants to fight me. There. Come on, sidewall, stay in place. And this is what I'm talking about with these sidewalls wanting to move and flex on you. I'm glad the hinge is doing a good job. All right, so hold that together, and let's just grab the back of the bus one with the bottom piece window, slot in the tabs. First and foremost, this piece is gonna be a little tricky. No, people, stop dinging me right now. I'm trying to do a thing. Come on. There. So, bottom slots. There we go. There's the top. Now, what side's giving me trouble? Is the bottom? Yeah, the bottom. So, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Well, there it goes. Gotta reach from the inside and wiggle these things around a little bit, but you can reach inside thanks to the lid. All right, so there we go. We've got all the slots and tabs lined up. Kitty, I know you're into something you don't need to be into. I hear you. Whatever plastic you're playing with, stop playing with it. Now we put the hinged work through the tabs. And that's going to take a little fiddling, but it shouldn't be too difficult, Kitty. Don't make me come in there. All right, I'll be back again. Okay. So, before my cat started being a butthead, we had put the acrylic in and we were wiggling our faces on. Well, I went ahead and just wiggled my faces on off camera. But as you can see, we've got the hinge pieces now nicely flush with the front and back, like retaining kind of things, and everything's nice and solid. So with that, we're just gonna put like our face and our back on. So as you can see, they just kind of line up with the slots and click into place, front and back. Ta-da! If we want to really make sure these don't go anywhere, well, we would be gluing stuff as we go. But I'm gonna take it apart and I'm gonna paint some stuff on this one, I think. Maybe. We'll see. Last up, well, not last up, but we've got our wheels and wheel axle things. So we've got 4 wheels that kind of look more actually like wheels with like holes and stuff. So these are gonna be the outside ones. And then we've got a bunch of little circles that are cut out from in the middle of them. Now each wheel consists of a 3-layer sandwich. So we're gonna wanna get a couple of our little tiny little axle circles, drop them onto the axles. And I painted the outside ones silver just to preemptively tell them apart. There's no difference, but that's what I did. So I've got 3 axles stacked on or 3 circles stacked on the wheel axle thing. And then I'm gonna drop a couple of the blank wheels on there. Drop on the actual axle, or the wheel, whatever one. And I'm gonna take these little crazy T-pins, and now I'm just gonna shove this in there. Actually, I'm not gonna shove that in there, because then it never comes off, ever, without breaking it. You got to cut another one. I don't really feel like cutting another one. But that's how we wrap it up. We just kind of shove these little guys right in the middle, and you'll hear like a click and everything. So, just like that. You guys go boop. Put a little pin in there, you'll hear it click, and that'll be that. I mean, you know, whatever. I'm not gonna paint those. I like those. You know what, I'm just gonna go do it. This is how I do things. I'm like, well, maybe I just want, you know, I'm not actually gonna paint that part, so maybe I just kinda, and it makes it more complete. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put them all on. 1, 2, 3. Kind of like a little, and then put the little axle pin in there. And I'll flip her over. A couple little wheels or little circles there. The other two can go there on this axle. And then we'll put a couple circles here. Plain circles there. Plain circles there. Detail, whoop, oh, these guys. Silver. Holes. Little axle pins. Straight down. And straight down. There we go. And now, we've got wheels that, roll and squeak. Perfect. That's what we want. And the lid is pretty simple. We've got two different versions. We've got the little pop top campy one, and I mean, it goes together one way. And actually, they didn't cut that. I'm a dummy. I'm sorry, guys. But that one's easy to put together. This one's a little bit different because it's two parts. And we are going to just kind of line them up. And then grab my handy dandy pins that I love so much. And we're just gonna slide them in. Well. There we go. Slide them in. Get them locked into place. And then you take the one that has just the two little foots. And we're gonna shove that in next to it. There you go. And as you can see, they're gonna lock into place and make kind of like a little sandwich thing, and they're gonna hold our lid together. Let's get that rubber band off there. I'm not gonna put them all on there, but with that, our bus box is pretty complete aside from like any painting or detailing that we'd want to do to it. And it's no glue. Like, it's all gonna hold together with no glue. I suggest glue if you want to actually play with your bus box. So, there we go, guys. The bus box.